back. What up, brother?
Welcome. That Week 18, episode 10.
Whew, Week 18 conclusion. What a crazy conclusion, man. I'm glad we've been talking for a while, but I've been waiting to talk about this. What a ridiculous wrap-up.
Yes, definitely. Like
we had the two Saturday games, which we were talking, I know, the other night. We kind of both got to go 1-1 into the weekend. Your win was a little bit more, I would call it, not lucky, but here's what it was, is like the Chiefs are starting to show a little bit Chiefs of the old, which was making me feel a little happy, because that defense was not looking great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's up with this Broncos team either. Like, that's one of those games where, or one of those teams where they're either going to show up or they're not. And they showed up and then not. They did both. They showed up and then they not.
Yeah, and part of it was still like for the first, what we're going to get to for sure later on with the other games. I didn't realize this until Saturday games, and I felt like something else happened before. But it was funny how we talked about like divisional week, right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, it wasn't. I mean, it still turned out to be great, but the fact that the teams that made it, they were like, we're not going to play our starters we're not going to either play our starters or we're not going to play our starters for all of the quarters. So
yeah, they went
even though that wasn't
crazy.
the case for Denver, like they still missing Teddy, unfortunately, but it's still good by is it Drew Lock?
Yep.
Drew Lock, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, I know his last name Black at least, that he can put up the numbers that he did, try to do his best, It was just a nice crucial play that happened for Kansas that you can say was lucky to a degree. Melvin Ingram got through that offensive line, and my boy, who is the running back? It's Melvin. Yeah, Melvin Gordon.
I remember watching it live, and I remember feeling kind of salty about it, but I don't remember exactly why now, given how much football I've seen since then. It kind of all gets jumbled together.
You saying you're not
I'm just remembering exactly how the game ended. It went down.
Oh yeah, like the key play happened like towards the half of the fourth quarter, which was Melvin Gordon was trying to score. And not even score, but make a nice like run play in freaking, like I said, this other Melvin named Melvin Ingram. He got past the old offensive line defender, and whether that person did a horrible job or a great job by Ingram, whatever, he surprised him. And Melvin, I felt like, made the mad mistake of trying to kind of spin for whatever reason, and to possibly think he's gonna like get out of range or just like not get a strong tackle, when he should have just took the hit, because you never know things like this can happen, which was the fumble. So it's like he tried to spin. And
that's what it was.
Yeah, Melvin hit the ball just enough, and the ball popped out. And the rookie, if I'm not mistaken, Nick Bolton was there to help with the sack. Not the sack, but to help the tackle. But he got the ball, and it was just like the rest is history, because Drew was not catching up to him. For 86-yard touchdown, and I was like, that's the play I needed, Kansas, because I was like, boy, I was just like, I'm gonna need y'all to play some defense, my guy. Like they, actually that's what they're close to knocking on the door at the 9-yard, and I was just like, bro, like they scored that, like they scored a tie game,
and it was just they had the momentum and everything, and like we have mentioned 100 times already, but when it's in division, it's always going to be closer. So it's not just the Broncos versus the Chiefs, which, you look at on paper, clearly Chiefs are a better team. But when it's in division, you play twice a year. It's almost like, I feel like it's almost like that big brother, little brother kind of stuff, where it could be anyone's game like that day. Like just whoever shows up that day. It's not necessarily a roster versus roster thing. So just with the momentum in the in division, it's at Broncos. You never know if Mahomes and everything are trying to catch their breath up in Mile High. Is it even called Mile High anymore? Didn't they change the name to some stupid... I think they changed it, bro. I think they changed it to some stupid name.
But
long story short,
commentators
you know what's funny? I think they changed it, but either they changed it back or the people like just refuse to say whatever the new one is. Like it's like one of those dumb names.
Because I was like, I know I was hearing Mile High.
But long story short, it's Mile High forever. But regardless, it just like whatever the Washington name comes out, I'm gonna say this on record. They will forever be the Washington football team to me. Like I will. All right, I got that all figured out. But regardless of what they change the name to, it's going to be Washington football team to me. It's always going to be Mile High. Like, if they go with some silly name, I heard, like, Wolves or Brigadiers or some nonsense, Armada, like Melee. Like, I heard Armada, like, and I'm like, okay. Like, now that'd be cool if he sponsored it. But,
right.
to me, it's always going to be Washington football team because that's, like, just an original kind of cool name. They should have just stuck with that. Like, it's cool. Took them forever to admit that they had a stupid name. But
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, ridiculous. Like, of all the sports teams where they're like they should change their name, like, that's the one that has the word actual skin in the title. But
Exactly.
Mile High, like, whatever I think it, like, they would have changed it to like some like .com kind of name. And regardless, like, it'll always be Mile High. I think that
Yeah, just a side note, just to touch on that like reminded me of Staples Center. Like it's supposed to be considered like crypto.com or something like that. And I was like,
hell no, bro.
it was like,
There's
nah,
no way.
Staples Center, bro.
There's no way.
Like, no way.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even in LA right now, and I can't imagine that going through.
Yeah. It just rolls off like I don't even when I think Staples I don't even think like the company I just think
No
just
one
like it's
thinks
just
the
like a name
company.
is
Right.
yeah it's just like Staples Center like it's just
When you're
that grand name.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times we talk about Gillette Stadium and people are like, wasn't it just you the other day? We're like, wait, the Razors people, right? Gillette? Who was it? It wasn't you. It was somebody else. They're like, wait, those people.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
because you kind of forget.
Gillette.
It's like, damn, they do only make face products, and then they also
Right,
sponsor
yeah.
the stadium. It's
The
like what a
stadium.
weird. It could be anything. Clearly, it's like I just didn't know
Exactly.
that these people who do razor blades and facial cream had that much money. You know, like to be in the
Exactly.
.com and the Bank of America and the, like, you know, Dallas, you got the AT&T Stadium or
Yeah,
Center or
ATM,
whatever, and
yeah,
it's like
something like that,
like
yeah.
that. It lines up. You know, like big city,
Exactly.
big name, Jerry Jones. Like, of course, he's gonna have a big name. So I was like Staples. It's like who would even think Staples? Like, it's almost. It's cool because it kind of sounds like it's the staple of LA.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Exactly.
stadium that will forever be there. Like I'm not sure how many people in New York refer to it as anything other than the Garden because like that's just
Exactly.
like where you are. Like you only use the Madison Square part if you're in any other part of the world. So
Exactly.
it's like it
So
will
people
always
get
be
the
the
idea.
staple. It will always be the Garden. Like that's just gonna. They can change it, but it will never change.
Yeah. But but back to football. The other thing that happened that was nice. I forgot what happened with Kelsey so much. Like he wasn't really too much of a factor this one. But Hardman, someone who I felt like is kind of like on the come up, like as if I want to be technical, like the second receiver option kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy I feel like that's more known, Pringle. He's been one of the other targets if Kelsey's not in for the play. So they had some good numbers to help. What's that boy Mahomes on the offensive side, but for sure that defensive stop, like that was the defense stop that they needed. It's like go shout out to KC defense for coming through and looking like a championship, Super Bowl defense right there, type of play.
Well,
So
for one play.
yeah, for one play, for
But
sure.
giving up 24 points is not how you win Super Bowls. If you look at like these,
Yeah.
like if I just Google real quick, or I'm sorry, DuckDuckGo. Shout out to not using Google like we were saying before. If you look up these past Super Bowl scores, I bet that 24 points would win you a lot of Super Bowls. So the last one it would not. Okay, so let's see. The last two, no, those were 33-34. But then you had some 16s. Oh my God, that's the first one. I'm looking at the wrong order, right? All right. 24 is not going to win you a ton. I guess I'm just thinking the last few low-scoring ones. I guess we're getting pretty high scoring these days because Denver, Carolina was only 24. New England, LA was kind of what was really sticking in my brain. Like, it really has been able to win. But I guess Tampa Bay did get to 31 and Kansas City did get to 31 last couple of years. But still, it's hard to score points. And I guess if you get up 24, I guess all right, you can give up 24 points and still win a Super Bowl. So my point, this is why I say Ign'ant Sports, because I can just type in something and be completely.
Right.
I can change my own opinion before I stop talking in the same sentence. All right,
Exactly.
so that is a Super Bowl winning defense. I stand corrected.
That's corrected, but yeah, good job, Casey. And then we'll talk about your Saturday game.
It's funny, dude. I didn't even actually do what I said I was gonna do, like because I just kind of like clicked on, and this is why I don't like my YouTube app. Sometimes it clicks you on, and it won't let me just watch from the beginning. It like catches me up live when I don't want it to, and all it caught me up to was Dak talking on the sidelines. I'm like, well, I know who won that game. So
Exactly.
and then I saw the score and I was like, I ain't even gonna watch this bloodbath. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I didn't watch a single
It's-
play of the game. Not a single
Yeah.
play.
I simply have starters versus non-starters. Like Dallas, it mattered more to Dallas than Philly. So,
Mm-hmm.
because Philly, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they were in. So they're like, we're just gonna rest, and Dallas felt like, maybe they could have
Philly
made a
is in.
difference.
Yeah. Philly is in. Crazy.
Maybe I think they could have made a difference. Maybe seating wise.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can imagine.
See, that's
But
another thing.
man,
Week 17 next year, bro. I'll try to look into it more, but it's like, if we have time, like you never know what your life is going to be like. But like trying to figure out every team situation is like trying to figure out the COVID situation. It's like trying to figure out the injury report. It's like just another layer. So week 18 is another one that, if and when I go back to betting money on sports, like I will not be betting money on the first week or the last week ever again. Ever again. Unless I got some of that good info.
Right, that real good. This is inside sources.
Once we change the name of the show to Well Educated Sports, then I'll be going week 1 and 18. But until then,
Right. Until then,
Ign'ant Sports keeps
Ign'ant.
it between 2 and
Ign'ant.
17.
Yes, sir. So, all right, we got we can talk about. Okay, let's go over the blowout one. So, your Tampa, Carolina.
Woo! Which was kind of looking a little scary at first too. Like I was looking at that, I was like, "Oh my god, how are we going?" Once I looked at the first quarter, I'm like, "This is gonna be one of those games, where Brady just like shits the bed for the whole time." But luckily, did not. So
Yeah,
good, got
yeah,
it going.
Yeah.
You never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen too after that whole. Wait, that was this week? AB? That whole nonsense was that this week? Or was that last week? No, that was last week against the Jets.
Yeah,
last week
that was
against
the last. Yeah, like
bro, it's just like how we're talking like before, like how like man, when was 2020? Like this has been a long time.
Man.
Like it's like that was 2 weeks. So AB been AWOL for about a week and a day now. Okay, I kind of forgot if it was like 3 days because like that whole event was so bonkers.
Yeah, so bizarre.
But nevertheless, so they did that without AB. Because I'm trying to think like, wait, was that why they started off slow and then they catch up? No, that was because last week they started off slow too. They had to have that miracle catch up win against the Jets, which I'm still like angry about that they put themselves in that position.
Exactly.
But they kind of put themselves in that position again, but then just kind of it ended up being that blowout, which it normally isn't when they start off that slow.
Yeah, they didn't score at first at all in the first quarter, but it was only down by 7. Luckily, so
Right.
it's just like then they got it to groove together. So, yeah, good job by Tampa. Like, what a surprise!
We can go with your Bills over the Jets was another,
yeah,
which is the same thing, bro. Same thing. I'm looking at that too. I'm like, all right, we got a little going into the half tied game. I'm like, this could be one of those games, and then somehow like it got through the third, but then in the fourth, it's like, nope. It kind of reminded me of the KC game that we're just talking about. It's like, nope. You like that's why it's the NFL, bro. Like any team can hang for 3 quarters. Any team can hang for 3 quarters. It doesn't matter, bro. And some teams can even hang for 3.5 quarters. But if you got a 3-quarter team hanging with a 4-quarter team, game over.
Game
over. That's what this was. That's all this was.
I didn't even say this earlier, but I was gonna say it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's
every
it's the
Patriots
reason
Super Bowl, bro. Every New England win. I think collectively of every Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, even if I don't want to reference last year because I don't know about his 1 year at Tampa. He might have scored a touchdown in the first quarter, but there was a combined 3 points every Super Bowl. All 8 of them, I think he did in New England because he was 9 in New England. He was 6 of 9. I'm forgetting Brady's record now. I know he has 7 right now, and I know he's been to 10. So that means he was at 1 point 6 of 9.
Yeah, I would say 6 of 9.
6 of 9.
So now he's 7 out of 10.
Yeah. So,
for
of those 9 Super Bowls they went to, they scored 3 points in all their first quarters combined.
All the first quarters, crazy.
Because it was only in their last one against the Rams that they scored the 3 points. Because before it was scoreless. That was the record. Scoreless. Wow. So trust. How you finish is what matters.
It's definitely what matters.
1 quarter is just not 1 quarter, man. Like the fourth quarter is this, and then the first quarter is this. Like that's truly how because you can give yourself, as we've seen, like, and I very rarely bring it up, like you can give yourself that 28-3, but like that's not going to be as big as the fourth quarter. Like that fourth quarter is the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Another blowout, which no surprise, which I know you were happy. Washington football.
That
beating them Giants.
One was no, bro. That if you were following that game, bro, that was like That was a nail biter up until like because if up until halfway through the third quarter, like at any point, like, what all the Giants have to do is score like 2 touchdowns, like just score 2 touchdowns, and they win the lead. Like so, it was just it was one of those spots where okay, like did I call this weeks ago of, and like this was one of the very few times in this show have I been like correct about things, but like watching how bad the New York Giants like versus where they started the year versus where they are right now, I saw that like versus say like where Detroit was to start the year versus where Detroit is right now, like complete opposite. Like just both terrible teams, but one is going up and one is going down. And Giants are going down, down, down. Like I saw that. I remember I forgot who it was. I think Daniel Jones running against. I think it was when I was watching play Tom Brady. Because I was like, why would I watch a Giants game? You know, like why would I ever want to watch like a full Giants game? But I think it was when I was watching Tampa and I watched him run around that whole damn. I was like, damn, they got no protection for this dude. And since then, dude, like they put up no points. Like they put up. I know I was wrong before when I looked up the Super Bowl winners, but if I looked up, which I'm not going to, the past, maybe if I click on the New York Giants here on ESPN, they can give me some of their last. Oh, look at that. Their 2021 schedule. So let's see their last points. Regular season, loss. They put up 13. Loss. They put up 29. Loss. They put up 14. Loss, 21. Loss, put up 20. Loss, put up 11. Loss, put up 3. Loss, put up 17. Like, they've cracked 20. They've cracked it twice in the past, like, 10 games. Cracked it. They hit it once. So, like, they're pretty sorry.
Yeah.
Pretty sorry. So, like, while it's really funny, too. Like, a lot of these games had a very similar beginning where it kind of started off slow. Could have gone either way, but then just snowballed, you know. Snowballed into what it was going to be. But, yes, I was very happy about that indeed. But that one was, I was biting my nails, bro, for that one. Believe me.
Yeah. When I look at the bet score, that is true for that. I guess you could say another... You can see along that line, the Minnesota Chicago.
No, bro. Along that lines, I was winning that the whole time, and then I don't like you came back in there, bro. You came back in that game, like
yes, sir.
If there was ever a week that I could have gone 8-0 and you could have gone the opposite, this was the week, man. Like, because you could have lost the KC bet. I mean, sure, okay, Cowboys and Eagles could have somehow flipped. I mean, I don't know, man. Cowboys have a better roster. Not really. Like, as in there's no way it could have flipped. Cowboys definitely have a better roster.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Broncos were playing worse that game. Like, Cowboys never had a chance to lose that game. I'm looking at it from the box score.
Exactly.
Chiefs had a massive chance to lose that game. So I'm just looking at the game. Like, every game you won, you had to come from behind. And every game...
Yeah.
Okay, I got lucky too. And some.
You got lucky at some.
But then, like, you know, I got my... We'll talk, you know, later about some teams losing that shouldn't lose. But
man, you want to talk about that?
We'll talk. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, that was another lucky. Like I felt like that was a lucky come from behind win, just because it was. You know, okay. So I'm looking at the box score. We got 3 and then 11, so it was 14-3 going into the half. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm like, all right. And then fourth quarter.
Yeah, interception, touchdown. Yeah. You never want to have those against you.
That was one of those ones too where I was watching on Red Zone, so I couldn't kind of quite keep up exactly how the snow. That was an avalanche, bro. Like some of these snowball, that was an avalanche.
Yeah. Like whenever those happen, like these fumble touchdowns, these interception touchdowns, like you know, like how I talked about KC, the fumble and like touchdown, that like you don't, those hurt, especially when they just scored. Like nah, like whether they score 3 or 7, like now you're down 7 or 14 or 10. Like you know, it depends. You know. So that's what happened, and what sucks, he tried to throw it to his tight end, and a couple quarterbacks did that this week where they just miss a defender or they tried to squeeze it. They just like they know in their right mind, like I can't. This is like I know this is. I feel like I just refuse to believe like you know this is an interception. Like you've had an interception just like this before. You can't tell me like where you like I want to throw it to my number one receivers 2-3s, but like they're getting covered good, and like you just gotta let that play go. Like it's understandable if it's third down and or like a fourth down, long, like you know, like
a must
like you know,
situation.
like it needs to be dire, like really, like I need this. This is no other way. Like, bro, we still got time. Like, you just gotta just take. Like, don't like. I'd rather you take a sack, like because at least you just lose yards instead of you just straight up giving them the ball. Like, so it was just like, yeah, he tried to believe, and he believed wrong. It was his belief was not strong enough
Yeah.
to verse reality, and yeah, they came in and swooped that up, and like I said, interception touchdown. It's just like bad enough you got interception, but then you get let them score off the same thing, like so. It's like once that happened, it was just like, yeah, it's a wrap for you, Chicago. Like
But once again,
it
like
was,
if you look at all these scores though for all these games we've mentioned before, it's like you just say it's like, hey, KC beat the Broncos, duh. Bills beat the Jets, duh. It's like Bucks beat the Panthers. But like then if you look at the first half of all these games, like all of them could have gone either way. It's like I'm even saying I got my lucky with Brady coming ahead. Like easily could have lost that game. You never know when. I mean, how many times have you lost to the Saints when you shouldn't have lost? Twice this year, at least. Like give him a pass last year. For new team, new year, new me kind of deal. But this year is no excuse on either game. No excuse.
No excuse.
Was that the blowouts overall?
Like for the most part, like
Saints Falcons was kind of a blowout.
You said Saints
Falcons, because that one was like see, that's the opposite. That's like the final score looks closer, but that was never really close.
Yeah. What was great about that one for you? Because you should have lost that. Because
I was really watching that. How should I have lost that?
Because Hill went out. He got hurt with a foot injury. So
let's click
your boy Trevor Siemian had to step up
Big
again.
Sim.
And he stepped up. He stepped up.
Okay, yeah. Hill's on the New Orleans. Who's the backup for Baltimore again? I keep getting Huntley. Bro, all these it's got to be an H name, right? I'm like, why am I thinking Taysom Hill? Why am I thinking Taysom Huntley? Between all the new quarterbacks we got this year, between all the second and third year quarterbacks that are coming through and coming to their own, now we got all these COVID backup quarterbacks with the same damn names too. Like, it has been impossible to keep track. Like, man, like if we did this thing in like 2011, we would have had to remember like 16 names, and that's that. Like,
Yep.
Rodgers, Brady, Manning. That covers 2 quarterbacks. Roethlisberger.
Exactly. It really was not hard.
No, yeah, this year has been one of them games of like memory. It's like does he have a mustache? Does he play for KC? Does he have COVID? Oh, damn.
Yeah, this season definitely would go down as not a forgettable one.
Right.
And what also sucked about that game was, as always, unfortunately, Atlanta, it's just like they got a curse. They always just sometimes just somehow just shoots themselves in the foot.
Oh, well, you can bet on, bro. You can bet on that. They've got that Detroit stank.
Yeah, so they're running back. I don't know. I didn't do much research if he's like first, second, but he fumbled twice, and that was no bueno.
Yeah.
Like we don't need any turnovers. Bad enough like Matt can do some interceptions, but then you're fumbling too. Like nah, like so
fumbling is such an Atlanta thing. Just sounds like no ball control, no discipline.
They're lucky enough to say they lost by 10. I would say like so. Yeah, that was that. But we can go to another loss that was kind of like blowout. And speaking of how, why are you losing? The Colts. Why?
Oh yeah, are we just gonna jump right into that? Well, let's just jump right into that, bro. What an amazing.
Let's just
because that was for me. That was the one. Like that was like before last night's game. Like the way that it capped off the season, which I guess we'll end off with, for like excitement and like.
Right.
Who saw this coming? Like, who saw that coming? Like, who saw? Because they were fighting for their playoff lives, right?
Bro.
Then they didn't get in, as far as I'm concerned. Like that's how that worked, right? I'm like not just over exaggerating this. This is not just Ign'ant Sports at its finest.
They didn't get in,
and that's what they brought to the table, dude. Like with Carson Wentz, with. Was it Jonathan Taylor?
Yes.
With all they brought it all because injury, no COVID, no none of this. Yeah, let's open up this box score real quick. We have Carson Wentz, 17 to 29. We got Jonathan Taylor, 15 carries, 77 yards.
Yes. What?
Wait, hold on. So like T.Y. Hilton, they got Mo Alley Cox on the field, and you're gonna bring. Shout out, actually, by the way, real quick, I keep forgetting to mention this off screen. I want to do at some point a best names of the NFL for at least this season because Mo Alley Cox is always in there. Like, there's a few of them in there, and Mo Alley Cox is definitely like in one of my top. But like, how are you not? I don't know, man. This is the team
Yeah.
that just came. Why couldn't they have brought this sorry ass game against New England, bro? Like, that's all I'm asking. Like, if you're gonna flunk out the season,
Exactly.
why couldn't you help us get the number 1 seed going to the AFC East instead of letting the Bills get it? Like, these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
It's just like they're gonna bring this to the table at this part of the season. You got every team stepping up. I'm sorry to cut you off, and then they bring this.
No, you get. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this was the game I didn't want to wake up to the way it was. I was like, I heard wash my face. I was like, no,
right.
You can't be telling me like it might have been 10-3, maybe 13-3. I was just like, you can't tell me Jacksonville's up on Indy right now. Like,
oh no, that was a
time,
dream the whole time, bro. I was loving life.
No, bro. And then when I seen it just kept getting worse and they still had 3, I was just like, what's going on?
Loving life.
Yeah, my man only had 1 interception. One interception. Didn't have any fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
No, they just played bad, bro. They played bad the whole game. They came
shout
up
out to Jacksonville's defense, like stepping up. Apparently,
bro.
Good enough. Like,
yeah, I mean Hey, bro, Jacksonville did what they could for the Patriots. They beat Buffalo. And then they beat Indianapolis. So we couldn't hold up our end. We couldn't beat the Bills again, Right. So, but they did. It was like Jacksonville was like trying to help us get in. It felt like, and they were trying to help us improve our seeding. I can't believe that those are the 2 teams that stepped up. Because for me, that was like my litmus test of like how bonkers this season was. Can you believe Jacksonville beat the Bills? And it's like, and then to top that off with. Because see, they were another one of those like sorry franchises, like kind of like Detroit to start the season. That like, I never knew if they were gonna have that pop. I literally lost like almost all my bankroll on. I'm trying to do this ESPN site, and these ads keep popping up. I lost like most of my bankroll like on that game, that Jacksonville beating the Bills. I think I lost 600 of 1,000 because I was like, no way. I'll just put like it was like 600 to win like 150 or 120 or something. I was like, free 120, free.
Right.
Like there's just no way. There's just no, and it was beyond unfree. It was the least free the money could have ever been. It was negative free.
Exactly.
So, like the Giants, they never had one of those games. Like they never came through and popped up. Like they kind of went downhill the whole game.
Nah.
Detroit had theirs. And like when you have yours, you kind of just expect them to have it. Like that's why we never thought Detroit was going to beat. Bro, this thing won't stop. Detroit, we didn't think was going to beat Arizona because they already had their Minnesota win, and same thing. I'm like, Jacksonville already had their 1 win. Like there's no way they're going to come through.
Yeah.
Twice.
Exactly.
But that was crazy.
But yeah, I was happy for them. I was like, shout out to. Oh, you know what? And you know what's so funny about that? So. This is just so ironic and just like you should just feel bad. The stadium came dressed as clowns because they were so tired of just. They were like somebody paid for a plane to fly up like the banner. It said Clowns Town. People came as like
that was a
clowns.
reference to what a commentator said.
Yeah.
About Jacksonville. We can look this up. Later, like we'll come back to it next week. But just to be 100% sure, but like I'm 90% sure that was like in reference to, like some sportscaster, someone said something about someone. Like I wasn't really paying full attention, so like you saying this right now kind of like brings it more to my attention of like where it even happened. But someone said something about clowns or something. Like I don't think they were. It wasn't like the fans. The fans were not saying it to the organization. It was like they were saying it to the person who was trying to make fun of them. So that's what I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because
that would be in reference to.
Okay, because I never did get around to clicking an article. I just
there's so much in the NFL that like you hear this nonsense. It's like who cares, man? I'm trying to keep track of like the actual
I was just
stuff
like I just
on.
had seen the video of it like watching something somebody else, and I was just like that's crazy, like But I was like I saw some clown people and clowns, and I was just like, but that's just kind of like ironic. Like if it was that storyline, like they came like dressed as clowns, thinking like just like whatever clown season we had, like nothing against Trevor, like you're a young guy. It's just the organization and everybody else who should have brought the right pieces. But
I mean, to be fair though, like whoever said it's not 100% wrong. Like that was a pretty disastrous season. Like to have a big name coach like Urban Meyer come through and then get fired like within. I mean, like I kind of forget now. It seems like it was a while ago. Like week 10, 11, 12, whatever. Like somewhere around there. Like. To not make the full 18, bro, in your first season, like, damn, man, like, you gotta be
But it's just
really
like,
out of control these days.
yeah, like but I feel like he should have seen it coming because it's just like you're a big name like a Nick Saban, like a Jim, like
Mm-hmm.
from the college, like we expect you to bring it,
Yep.
like three is not bringing it, and I don't even know if all three was him. Like,
And then you hear
well, not even that on three, it was him.
some random stuff
One,
like him
two,
kicking like the kicker or something, like some random
yeah,
nonsense, like,
like just
and like if that happened, like, and when we heard about that now, but we heard about that happening back in like preseason was supposedly when it happened. So like they've been going through this, like they had a coach on their staff the whole time that they just didn't respect. Basically is like what I'm
yeah,
looking back on it now. It's kind of like you get to see the end, like the season finale, and then it's like you go back and watch the first, like, oh, that's why those first few episodes were like how, like, that's why they had that undertone, like I didn't fully get that, and now that I see what was really going on, now I can see the full picture. And
exactly.
so I don't blame whoever's calling them out, but whew, they came through for me,
Yeah,
on that
right,
big win.
exactly.
I mean, but there was a few games like that, man, this week that kind of came through and then couldn't come through. Like, let's to kind of like go on the this like jumps back to the blowouts, but not really. That Titans win, bro. Like, okay, yeah, like they made a little push at the end there. So while it looked like one
Yeah,
of those blowouts, like that one could have been a comeback. So that was
yeah,
another like, yeah,
yeah.
you say, yeah, Titans beat the Texans, but at the same week the Jaguars beat the Colts. So you just never
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That with that one, the Houston Houston offense, it was like, where are you first half.
Hmm.
It was like still searching in the program file for that, like, hello,
Honestly,
it's
man,
four
if we,
quarters.
this looking at this week overall at this moment, it kind of reminds me of the week I had when both of my teams did what they did. Like, so I don't know what the Lions are up to, man. Like, this is just so weird to me. Like, I'll never get the whole lottery thing. Like, I'll never get it whatsoever. So like the worst team gets the better pick, and the teams know this.
Yeah,
So like so the players perform, but the coaches may not. But the coaches want to perform because they want to win, but the front office may not want them to perform. So like,
yeah,
it's like just the weird. Here's how it, in my opinion, so very clearly should work. There should be like the lottery should start at like the seed. Okay, so say like the very bottom, team, call them seed 32, whatever, 31, 32, 30. Like you should start getting lottery picks at like seed like 18, 19. Like you should have to work your way. Like it shouldn't be a race to the bottom. Like it's basically what I'm getting at. Because then you have situations like this where you're Detroit and you're like, you really don't want to win the game, but then
yeah.
you do want to win the game because it's a football game. So like, why would you not want to
Yep,
win the game?
exactly.
I just hate that could ever be like, imagine like what we do in terms of competition. Like would you ever sign yourself up for a situation where you might want to like lose on purpose? Like it just sounds so weird. Like it's just so foreign. So I just don't like that the whole draft, lottery, this, that is built into end of the season games can, especially if you're going to try and put some money on it. Like how could you possibly predict that this is going to be how this game's going to go?
Yeah,
But then wait, because they were playing Rodgers. They were playing Rodgers. Let me open up this box score here.
for 2 quarters. Or at
Okay.
least,
See,
yeah.
like, and that's like,
So
but once again, like, how are you going to know that? How are you going to know that they're only going to play him for
exactly,
2 quarters? How are you going to know
exactly.
that?
Like I said, like we knew some, like we talked about Ben. It was like maybe he's gonna play for some quarters.
Right,
Like
right,
he was the only one
exactly.
like that we thought of, like that's gonna sit out possibly, but everybody else was just
I
like,
think we knew that Joe Burrow wasn't going to play, or at least he wasn't going to play
yeah,
significant minutes.
I think, yeah,
Let me check that score because I don't think he put in. Yeah, Brandon Allen played the whole game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
that was the only one that I heard. They're like, all right, we're gonna sit this guy, but there was. I feel like I knew I heard Rodgers was gonna play. I just didn't know that he was. I didn't hear for 2 quarters.
exactly.
And
So
then yeah, like you're saying, Roethlisberger, we just didn't know. Game this that legacy. I mean, their season's just on another level, bro. Like,
it really is like,
I mean, you can even go into that like right now because what was the game we
yeah,
were referencing? It wasn't even that much.
16.
Oh yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it
16.
was Packers Lions. I mean, like, was there? What
Oh
was?
yeah,
Yeah, we won't jump right into
so
that.
with that one, it Jordan Love, he tried to he got an interception.
Hmm.
Like that was the end of that. But I want to say specifically, um oh, um so who knows if he didn't mean it to throw it. Like, you know how quarterbacks can like lead receivers to try to like
Yeah, make him have to like reach out
fix.
for it.
Yeah, like to fix the whole situation. Like I know you got defenders around you, like
Right.
multiple, but I'm a fix it. Like
Right.
like you just get there, like you do whatever you need to do, but it won't be an interception. And like I feel like that was one of those cases that this was like he was like, I know this is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
but like just maybe, like like I was just saying earlier, just
Yeah.
but for him it's less because he does get so much times, but he knows like just sidelines like, this is a possible common quarterback interception scenario, but I'm gonna try it. And it's just like, yeah, like it happened, and he did the right thing, but it just sucked because I think the defender behind my Green Bay receiver, he stuck his hand in, so the one defender that was like coming on underneath, it hit off of him, and then the other one that had hit it kind of to lodge it out, he caught it. So it wasn't like the cleanest like interception. It was like a also lucky interception because it was like bobble like boom, and it was just like dang, like so it wasn't just straight up like I literally just threw it to the opposing teammate, like that's just with none of my players nearby, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So it's just like it was just like unfortunate for him, like you're trying to lead us to our last victory, but it's just like interceptions like that happens.
Right.
It's just like you could have just threw it away, like you like could have threw it that direction, but just like for sure just threw it over. But of course you never could have seen this whole bombling situation happen. Like yeah, maybe deflected down, but like deflected and still catchable. Like dang, like
Yeah.
how many
Like we said many times before, not every interception is created equal.
exactly. So it's like I feel like that was another one speaking of like situation like that with Jalen, if I'm not mistaken, that was his game. He had one where he bobbled it to himself. Like he had to bobble it like 2-3 times, and
Mhm.
and then he finally got full control of it. And he, for some reason, ran out of the end zone instead of just because. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shouldn't you get the interception? Shouldn't you just kneel?
You should
Like
just kneel.
right, whether you're like it doesn't matter how much time left or anything, just right because that's just a free 25 yards,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 25.
Instead of like let me try to run it out and like get tackled at the 1 yard. Now my quarterback and
Right.
offensive
That was the
line.
Malcolm Butler situation. That we kind of learned
Exactly.
after the fact. Because that's what Malcolm Butler messed up on. Like when he
Yeah.
came back, he was so excited, that he got the interception. He just starts running out of the end zone. They're like, no, like take that knee. We're good. Like we have secured what we need.
Exactly.
I think if you run out of, but if you just run out of bounds, I want to say it's like the same thing though. Like I want to say,
That I would need to search on. Not
what
quite
else could it be
sure,
though?
but-
Like the 10, maybe.
No, like
Like say you catch the interception.
okay. So
I have to. Yeah, I have to because the play's still alive because you can run out of the end zone, like we've said once again, Malcolm Butler. I want to say that if you run out of the back, is the same thing as taking a knee, but that's ignorant.
okay, that's what you're saying like that.
That's what I think. Yeah,
that,
I think
that I would definitely need to
because
see.
if not, it'd be like something like the 10-yard line or the 15-yard line. But I don't remember that ever happening. Honestly,
Exactly.
like
So,
it's
yeah.
because you almost always get tackled. Like if you get that
Yeah.
pick,
Exactly.
or you're. I want to say if you go out the back, you got to get that 25 because there's got to been times where people just like catch it and they fall backwards, like that corner.
Exactly. Yeah, like this, like they catch
Right.
it. Well, see, then even if you, so you will have to actually, we have to be more specific. So we'll have to
Like
say,
catch it 2 feet down, you secure
Yeah,
the
2 feet
interception
down, and you're falling
yeah, it's
out,
secured.
like-
Like you've become the receiver. It's almost like that corner touchdown, like that. They got it, but you got it, and but then you happen to land out of bounds instead of having the I was gonna say wherewithal, but like the body control to just like stop, have a sip of tea and take a knee. Like sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
fall backwards because you caught a ball in a
Exactly.
ridiculous manner.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine you'd be penalized for like 10-15 yards for that. Like I got to assume that's gonna be the 25-yard line. But hey,
Yeah, I would.
that's why we title the show what we do. We don't sit here and look up all the rules. We just talk out our.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, y'all let us know.
Right, and that's one of those things it's gonna be one of like so situational that this year I learned that you can you can score 1 point. No, you score 2 points if you block an extra point but you return it to the end zone. Like, that's 2 points.
Exactly.
Because they
yes.
could have gone for 2 points, but instead they chose to go for 1 point. So you can get a maximum of 2 points. Before that, I'm like, I don't know. You get 1 point, 2 points, 6 points.
Right.
If you told me they get a full touchdown, I wouldn't have blamed you, bro. Like, I don't know the rules.
I don't.
Because think about it, dude. To block an extra point and bring it all the way back, you deserve 10 fucking points for that. Like, that's nuts.
That is nuts,
And then to only get 2, that feels so dirty. It just doesn't feel right. It's like, you got to meet somewhere in the middle. Like, give him 4. Like, give him something respectable, bro. But only 2.
But,
so, like, you learn stuff all the time. So, like, that's going to be one of those,
they probably keep it that way because for the fact that, like, field goals are good for being 3. Touchdowns are good for still being 6. Because, like, before I got into NFL, I always thought NFL touchdown was 7. I never.
You kind of would as a default as just a fan, because you always see 7-3, 7 to this. And if you ever see 6-3, you just assume 2 field goals and 1 field goal.
Exactly. Right. Like if you never, especially for me, like since I was never really watching it, so it was just like I see the score and it's like 7. Like, okay, they got a touchdown.
Yep.
And it's like, no, they got a touchdown and a field goal. I mean, not field goal, extra point.
Right.
So it's like
Well, also too, because back in the day, like, before maybe we got into it a little bit more, like, I always watched football, but really got into it, like, they didn't really go for 2 very often. So, like, and also keep in mind that the extra point was much closer, so they missed it less frequently. So a touchdown did equal 7 points at a way higher frequency back in the day than it does today.
Definitely.
Like, because they moved it back and people go for 2 all the time. So I would say right now you get a touchdown, you get, like, that equals 7 points, like 70-75% of the time.
Yeah, definitely that.
Back in the day, it was like 95, like minimum 95.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like, why would you miss this? Like,
that's where the chip shot. Like, they called it a chip shot for a reason. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you can have like a short field goal, like on the 3-yard line, but that's just now. Like, you got to kick an actual field goal to make that extra point.
Yes,
you got to now that you have to factor in the wind to make an extra point. Like, that's when people started missing it.
Yeah. And it's like, oh snap.
All right, so that was you guys there, and I mean, bro, if we're gonna be on you guys, we might as well go up to you guys again, because I don't know a week ever. Like, we might have to do this show for 10 years straight, bro. We have another week where LA Rams and Green Bay Packers both lose in the same damn week.
Right.
Because you've been pretty steady with your 2 teams. I was pretty steady with my 2 teams until I had my one disastrous week. But, like, my 2 teams are a little bit, like, at least the Patriots, are a little more volatile. Whereas, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. That's always going to be until it's not, until he decides it's not anymore, because clearly he's the one who decides, nobody else.
Yeah, nobody.
But the thing is, LA, man, they're still that team that got to the Super Bowl and only put up 3 points, man. Like, I'm not trying to, like, rub this in or nothing, like, from, like, a Patriots fan to, like, I'm just saying, like, because that's just how you think. Like, they can bring up one of these games where they, I don't know how to word it, man. They blew it. They had the lead the whole time. They just blew it. So they had the momentum. They had everything. They had the home field momentum, better team, better roster, and they blew it. Was Garoppolo even in? Yeah, Garoppolo was in.
Yes, he was. Yes, everybody.
I'm trying to think of even more reasons to shit on him, bro. I'm like, what happened here? But
what happened was, for sure, our defense. Because for going into the half, we were up 17-3. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. That I remember. Yep.
Every 49 fans was like, oh, wow. Like, here's our hope.
Isn't there some insane stat, too? Like, every time McVay... That's your guy, right? McVay?
Yeah,
McVay. It goes into the half with a lead. He wins, like, 100 out of 105 times or some nonsense. We'll make it 106 or whatever. Make it 106, bro.
Yeah. I think it was something like that. Like, he definitely had a good record. Like, he
or like going up by 10 or something. Yeah, like going up by like 10 or something. Like, they had like some crazy number where like they messed up once earlier in the year, and now like, but this is a big lead that they gave up.
Yeah. I remember Matt did throw 2 interceptions, but I don't think they turned into points at all. Let's see. Yeah, that's a punt right there. And just, where's the last one at? Punt. I said 2, but I don't see. But either way, yeah. So the way I see it, though, I think the last drive, either for the fourth quarter or the overtime one. I think the fourth quarter. It was unfortunate, how defenses they'll be talking like the play snap hasn't gone off right, and then like they'll be like a corner or something safety. They'll be talking like, yeah, like do this, be right here in this area, and then like you just like you ever just think like, no, just everybody be set, like stop, you're like you being you're being distracted, like the play's about to start. Like,
Yep.
and that was one of these situations where like I can't really tell if it was the corner talking to safety or just two corners talking, and I was just like, as I'm watching the highlight, I was like, no, something's bad gonna happen. And then it was just like it seemed like it was like a blown coverage, or whether it was like man to man coverage or just zone coverage type of deal. Like the person was wide open. It was like, bruh, we can't be winning Super Bowls like this. Like we can't be up and then blow it like this for them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is for their last drive before for them to tie us. Like he was just like wide open. It was just like, wow, like 3 defenders around him, but they're all like 6 feet, like COVID. It's like, hello. I know he was looking around like he was like, Jimmy, like I'm right here, bro, wide open. Like I don't know what they're doing, but I'm ready to catch it. Like, and it was just like, wow, like. Defense was doing just good enough, and then that just happened, and it was just like, yeah, that's like it happens to every great defense out there. Every great NFL team is just like you can break down your defense, like whether people not set or don't know the play, like what play we're running, or some people is questioning like about what area they need to cover and stuff like that. And I felt like that's what happened, and it was just like, good job to 49ers. Like my this loss in the Green Bay, I was like, it hurt, but it don't hurt that bad. Like I was happy for the fun. I was like,
end of the season at least. I don't. Did that affect your guys' seeding for the LA?
No, if I'm not mistaken, I think we still ended up being where we were being.
That's like the biggest thing, honestly. That I kind of. Because, like, that's going to really determine how much effort I think teams put in that fourth quarter, Like, that's really when I feel like coaches are going to matter. Like, all right, now, does it really matter? Because you kind of, like, at the very least, you're going to try and win with your backups, or you're this, or you're that. So people are going to always try to win the game, I feel like, regardless of seeding. I feel like take the lottery or whatever, all that stuff out. Like, people and coaches, like, everyone who's on the field will always want to win the game. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I've gotten from sports. Especially when you get to that last game. There's a vibe that I've gotten from sports. People just want to win the game. And
exactly.
So, yeah.
So that like
now,
to be honest,
do you know if that made a difference if the 49ers would have not have gotten in if they did not win that
they
game?
wouldn't.
Okay, so that was like the Colts game basically where they didn't show up.
Like
crazy.
It was like crazy. Or at least they if I'm not mistaken, because maybe something else happened too for them. I think for them because Philly's actually at the 7th seed, so maybe something else. But it for sure didn't. It helped. Like it definitely didn't. It would have hurt for sure. So yes, I was like, it was like bittersweet, like, because I kind of wanted them, because I was like, I like 49ers. Like, had we not got Rams back, and had I not chosen Green Bay, like, eventually, I'll probably down the line, I would have chose 49ers as my NFL team to go with. Like, I always try to choose a local for sure first, and then a state team first, if that needs be. So I was like, and I think they're the decent team that can help us get to the Super Bowl. We'll meet them at the NFC Championship, Green Bay, and beat them, and then beat whoever wants to meet us in the Super Bowl.
I mean, 49ers always had a good history, and they got good uniforms, so can't blame anyone.
Yeah.
That was that. I think we're getting about close. Okay, I think now's probably a good time to jump in. Kind of leads the way. I think there's only those 2 left, really. So, like, that Steelers-Ravens game. Whew. Double. Whew. I can't believe Roethlisberger coming in clutch, bringing down the heat on just because they were looking at it now. Yeah, down. Yeah, okay. So, like, really had to. I remember the very last drive, too. Like, he's coming in just like old times. Like, that's why when you look at some teams coming in, like the Colts can't beat the Jaguars, bro. You're telling me that Ben Roethlisberger is going to come in, like, ready to retire, and he's going to come in and beat the Ravens. But you can't beat the... So that was funny. But
exactly, right.
And then in overtime, too. That was crazy.
Yep. So that was another one where it was... Well, before I even get to that, another, like I mentioned earlier before, there were quarterbacks who were just like I know this is a possible risky play, but I can make it work.
I mean, it was only a 13, like 3 point difference. Like, it's not like it was like, oh, clearly, you know, it wasn't like I chose Philly over Dallas, and it was like, damn, what were you thinking, bro?
Yeah, no. I'm saying like I'm talking about for like quarterback wise, quarterbacks making like them risky interception possible passes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just saying like with your pick to begin with, like I was.
Yeah, no,
like,
no, yeah, sorry, yeah, sorry. That's what I was referring back to in the past when I was mentioning earlier in this episode, how Tyler was like, Mark,
right, yep.
You're my number one, and I could really use you right now. And even though I see you surrounded by a swarm, like the whole people, everybody on you.
Right.
But that's okay. We're gonna make this work.
He had his binky.
And you know what made it even worse? The fact that they're in the end zone. So he's just like, I'm really trying to make this work. I'm really trying to just punch this home, this death victory. And it's just like, no, Tyler, patience, my son, patience. Like this is gonna make you a better quarterback, make you put in the Hall of Fame. When anybody remember when you didn't pass it and you waited one more play, and you got that better pass play or that better run, yeah, you're gonna remember this down the line. But no, not today. And so yeah, he tried to make it work, and it was just like interception, and then they get a second chance, to try to stop them from scoring the field goal in overtime. Once again, defense setting up, they pretty much set, but got two people over here talking, trying to figure something out. Oh, we ain't got time for that. Offense, we know we want to do. Like, this is like trying to like catch y'all off guard. So boom, snap, get a nice play. They needed to stop him at 4th and 8. 4th and 8. We got him down to 4th down. They still got to go for it because otherwise it's game over. I think it's supposed to be game over. And yeah, they let the Steelers get the playoff, and it was a good one. And it was just like, I don't quite know if had y'all been set and not talking and like everybody in set positions, but it hurts. It hurts to see you just from the highlights standpoint. So it was just like, good job to Ben. Like, your season, your last season is looking strong. And I mean, yeah, I at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you somehow make it.
We didn't even know. That's the thing. Like, going with the timeline of the way that the weekend went, we didn't even know where Roethlisberger's future was headed until the final game of the night. Which, like I mentioned to you off air, like I didn't even get to catch the ending of this game at first. Like I just kind of got cut off. I didn't get to see it, so I didn't even know how crazy of a game this was. Like it's actually the only game that I got notes for, because I'm just. Everything that I'm watching, every time, like, this happened, I'm just... The whole thing was ridiculous because, A, what is up with this Chargers team? Like, what team are you going to get? It's like not even week to week, quarter to quarter. It's like play to play, drive to drive. Like, what? Like, are you getting the best team in the league, or are you getting a team that can't complete a pass? Like, what is this roster, bro? I've never seen highs and lows like this from a team that... No injuries, no COVID. This was just them all year, bro. This is by their own demise, like by their own hand. Like this was all them, dude. This was another Colts situation. This was exactly like the Colts roster that performed so below what they could have done. I was just astonished at. I mean, I called the Raiders to win. But I knew I was flipping a coin. Yep. I knew I was flipping a coin in the same way that I flipped a coin when I called the Raiders to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah. It felt like their Super Bowl because they had snapped a 5-game losing streak as a 10-point underdog to win that game. So I knew that the Raiders could show up. I knew that Derek Carr was a real quarterback. I knew that he had Hunter Renfrow on the field, who's one of the smartest players in the NFL. But you never know what Chargers team's going to show up. And that's really how the game ends up. So, like, they're leading the way, like, watching this whole thing come back, and then actually see the overtime. And it's like, the whole overtime was insane. Like, down to the last kick, last second of the play. Yes. And the reason why I bring this up now, and we're talking about the Pittsburgh and everything, is because at the end of that game, we'll kind of start this from the back, and then, like, kind of meet, to the middle of the beginning, is Vegas didn't have to kick that field goal. Vegas could have taken a knee. They would have gotten into the playoffs. The Chargers would have gotten into the playoffs.
Yep.
Pittsburgh would have been out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Just like I was talking before, in reference to all these sorry teams that try to win, that do win, sometimes like, oh, I like how I just glossed over my Patriots losing to the Dolphins. So
because
that happened. Like, so that happened anyway.
Yeah, that happened.
That's really funny. We'll hit that after then because I literally forgot about that.
We missed. We got two more when that's it.
I completely forgot about that one. But just like these teams that show up that like shouldn't really show up, like the Jaguars against the Colts.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're coming through. The whole Patriots thing like made me lose my train of thought because I was just getting that from the. I literally have to pause now. What was I talking about?
You were going to talk about. You were like we're going to go from the.
Yeah. What did they do? They did something. Because we're talking about the Steelers and like the seeding and this and that. Because like how they could have just taken a knee, but they didn't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So we're at 50. Well, we're at 59, 54. Okay. 3, 2, 1, me. So the Steelers' fate was basically left up to, it just seemed like complete chance. Like
it really was.
They even cut to a Steelers fan in the audience of the LA LV game, and there's a guy in the Steelers. It's funny, dude. I have the screenshots. I'm gonna send you these later. It's amazing because his facial reaction, like I caught at the perfect moment when he knew that Vegas was gonna kick the field goal and not take the knee. And this was what I was saying before, was kind of getting back to the whole, like, how some teams, like, just want to win. Like, it doesn't matter the seeding, doesn't matter the lottery, the this, that. Like, Vegas just wanted to win. Like, that's what Derek Carr said after the game. He said, like, we knew, didn't really matter. Like, we just wanted to go for the W. And I don't blame him, man. Like, once you get that far, like, why give your in-division rival anything? Like, why give them... You might have to see them again in 2 weeks. Hell no, bro. Stomp that out now. But they could have. But see now, because like that's the thing, they took a couple plays. Like they took a a run play to get them in position of the field goal, and then the field goal itself. Both these things could have gone awry. Both these things could have been fumble, scoop and score back the other way. Las Vegas is out. They could have just taken the knee numerous times, and they didn't. So that was just an insane ending to a crazy game.
Yeah, it really was. I was like, dang, like I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. Like this was one where I was like, I know this is gonna be another shootout. It's like, I was like, I know both quarterbacks should be there, and if both are gonna stay healthy as much as possible, like they're gonna, whether it be a touchdown here and then like a couple field goals here and there. But I was like, I know it's gonna be a mixture. Like they're not gonna always get touchdowns for sure. There's gonna be some field goals in there, but it's I was looking for for it to be at least a high 20s, possibly early 30s kind of game for both sides. So shout out though, to be specific, to Josh Jacobs. I didn't go back to look at his other games actually, but my man hit 132 yards. He was eating up that Chargers defense. They could not stop him. He was looking like, just any great running back of past histories, Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson, just Ezekiel Elliott, just like he was looking like them that type of running back for Raiders. It was just like my man's could not be stopped. He was just like I think he only had one touchdown. But still, it was just like them yardage was just enough, as you clearly could see, like to help them get that last field goal and other field goals before. So he had 129 two games ago, but that's the only other 100 game he got. So unfortunate for the Chargers, like he decided to go off, like his life depended on it. So
did you know that kicker had not missed? I think in that stadium, I think they said in like 2 years or something, like because they play in division, the kicker for Vegas, so like when they're going for every kick, I'm like, you gotta make it, bro. Like you gotta make it. And
I think too,
did you see some of these kicks that were like,
they were
bro, they were pixels away, hairs away. Yeah,
both of theirs.
Yeah, all of them. Both, like the last two. So like, that's my point, man. Like this whole game was a nail biter. So like that. Did you know that this was the first game in 30 years that had 6 fourth down completions? First game in 30 years. That's how the Chargers made this almost happen by converting 6 times on 4th.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, I was like, I know I'm gonna see some fourth down plays be converted. I know I am. But when
Well, it's the
kept
Chargers. They
showing
go for it on
fourth,
4th more than any team, but like they put themselves in that position though, and then they kept completing like 4th and long. Like it wasn't like 4th and 1 though. It was 4th and long, 4th and long. Like it was insane.
Yeah, that was the part that was like I was like,
every
bro,
catch was like one of these Super Bowl kind of like, we got to review this one. We got to review this one. I wrote this down because at one point, this was amazing to me, bro. We officially, like, mark this down, bro. We have NFL math, okay? We have math for the catch. So now, this is official. This is from Terry in New York. He confirms that 1 elbow or a knee equals 2 feet. They said this verbatim. So, in getting down to the nitty-gritty of it, a foot is only half of a catch because you need the 2 feet to make it a full catch. Or it can be the 1 elbow. Or it can be a knee, apparently. A knee is equivalent to 2 feet. So I'm trying to figure out what they consider a catch in this league, trying to bring it a little up a bit. So I had to write down specifically that the 1 elbow or knee definitively equal 2 feet. Because there was one time where he basically landed, like he caught the ball, and his elbow was the first thing to hit, and then he was out of bounds. Right. Like he's like sliding out. And they're like, "Is that a catch?" And then they're like, "There's like Terry from New York. What do you got?" And he's like, "We have confirmed that." Like literally, I think Chris Collinsworth was like, "Now if 1 knee equals if 1 elbow equals 2 feet," and they verbatim 1 elbow equals 2 feet. I'm like, all right, good to know the equation of catching, formulas and equations and yada yada. Because once you put an equal sign to it and you have an actual mathematical equation, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy. I definitely didn't hear that, or at least I missed that. But that is nice to know because I know for the past few seasons, it's like the focus have been like everybody's 10 toes challenge, like learning how to ballerina style, like make sure them toes is in and drag your feet. You gotta learn how to do all of that.
Right.
So it's just like, the more the merrier. But yeah, bravo Raiders. It's not a surprise. Like like I knew nail biter didn't know just which team was gonna come out. Like was like I said before, other episodes. Carr, are you gonna still be that fourth quarter / overtime comeback king?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, he didn't need the comeback. They just had to hold it off.
Yeah,
I guess you can consider it like they probably like to lump them together because if it's not just a fourth quarter, they'll say fourth quarter and overtime, win, and it's like, oh yeah, that's really good too.
Yeah,
because it's a very similar situation as coming from behind, because you had to defend again. Here's something that I'm questioning, and I really wish we got to see this timeline. But when they did the coin flip to go into overtime, Las Vegas won the coin flip, and they decided to take the ball, which makes sense because they were defending and they wanted to see if they could score a touchdown. But Chargers look gassed. Like, if the Chargers weren't gassed, like on offense, I mean, specifically, I think maybe they might have even considered going for 2. Remember how Baltimore went for 2 against your Green Bay early in the year and it didn't pan out?
Mm-hmm.
I consider like maybe they might have done one of those kind of plays because like they were looking to, like, maybe if they thought they had a little energy left in the tank for like one big play. I'm just curious if they would have taken the ball if they won the coin toss because they look gassed. Honestly, I feel like it would have been like one of the few times we've seen someone win the coin toss and deferred. Just because they got Joey Bosa, they got a good defense going. Like maybe they can hold them off and then come through. Herbert can give them that field goal. But I wish we got to see that. But that was a crazy game. So I missed New England Dolphins. Was there anything else I missed?
Yeah, and then we talk about we can leave the Seattle, Arizona for last.
Seattle, Arizona. Oh, yeah. That one was another.
I was up with that.
Yeah. Let's go with that one. That one I had Arizona, right?
Yeah,
I had AC.
Yep.
That was one of my few damn, because they were going good, I feel like no. That one was a struggle. I'm thinking of a different week. That one was just Seattle just brought their A game that week. That's all you can really say. Like they brought it the whole time. That wasn't no come behind win. That wasn't this. Like they just brought it in the way that I didn't think they were going to bring it on the road.
Yeah. I'm looking at it like it was. It was close for the first 3 quarters.
I remember not feeling too great about it. But the thing is, like the way that Cardinals needed to win that game was by putting Seattle. Seahawks are kind of like the Cowboys, where they kind of always put up at least 25 points. I feel like so at some point they're going to start putting up some points. So unless you shut them down, how like Brady almost got shut down. Like, how many times do the Buccaneers go 0 points in the first quarter and then end the game with 41? Not many. So I feel like you need to have Seahawks have one of those 0 point quarters to shut them down. Like once they get rolling, they get rolling.
Yeah, because they were Arizona was only down 4 in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left. But what I was going to touch on was my cousin again.
Oh my god, bro!
Man,
I'm hearing this name. Like I'm like all I hear. I'm like, God damn it! I'm like I know I'm about to hear this.
You're dumb, man. Man's just like, why stop now? While I still have my 5 minutes to shine, you know? Man's decided to set his record again, and he went for 190 yards. So
that's crazy.
I'm just like that.
I didn't even see the number.
Yeah, I was like, I know I gotta look at that number. I was like, I know he broke 100 for sure, but I was like, at 190, I'm like, dang, go ahead, cuz. And then what helped with that was the last touchdown, which made it 31-38. He did 62 yards. Like, he missed, like, one person. I didn't get his name because I was just like, sucks for you. I'm just going to save your life. But you missed a crucial tackle, and the rest was history. Like, safety couldn't catch up. Nobody else can catch up. Rashad Penny was looking left and right. He was like, Jets, baby. All I see is the end zone. And
who's that other guy Seattle used to have that was super fast? He doesn't even play. No. I'm thinking not way back, but like bigger name. He used to wear that like face mask that was like chrome. Jets, bro. You could never catch him.
You saying just like that? Maybe you talking about Marshawn Lynch?
No, Marshawn Lynch. He's a receiver.
You talking about receiver? Right? DK Metcalf?
No.
Are you talking about? Because he kind of were.
I'm talking like this is probably. I'm not like gonna like. If we went on for any longer about this, I would cut it. You know, like it doesn't matter that much. It's like one of those. I'll remember it and I'll tell you off screen or the next. He was with the old like when they played the Patriots, like that kind of, like that era.
But you saying he was a receiver?
I'm pretty sure. I remember him running down the field like whenever he would catch the ball, like you couldn't catch him.
I probably remember it later. Yeah, it's definitely not comes to my head so easily. But yeah, shout out to my cousin, having a great way to end his season at least, So like I said before, hopefully help his stock, and being the number 1 running back if he stays there,
Yeah, no, let's give him some Derrick Henry vibes for sure.
Yeah, if for sure can at least guarantee him some more snaps for sure. Like as the number 2 number 2 running back option. So I was
lucky actually. I got like kind of sleepy on the second half of football Sunday. I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. Then when I woke up, I was like, I'm not gonna watch that game.
All right, listen, I'm not gonna watch it. Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry to cough. I wasn't coming back from. Yeah, but those are one of those games where just no point coming back to it. We had that kind of performance against the Colts as well, where it's like, we're kind of making a nice little push at the end, but just not enough. And I even said this last week. I know that historically the Patriots don't do great in Miami end of the season, but always gonna pick the Patriots. And I think Dolphins didn't get in, nothing like that.
Which sucks. Like,
fired their coach today. Thank you for making my division easier for my team more. Like I couldn't understand that. It was one of those things too where like I didn't really even know who. I don't want to say I didn't know who Brian Flores was, but like you don't really hear about the Dolphins head coach a lot. Was nowhere near my radar of like. Usually I know the names of the coaches that get fired. Let me put it that way. So like I didn't like if you told me like Chicago coach gets fired, cool. Like even Vikings coach got fired. It's like I was mentioning Sweater Vest for weeks now that on the sidelines like he just doesn't look like a coach. So like the same thing with the Chargers coach, bro. He looks like he could use like a pacifier and a binky or something. Like he's just like so young on the sidelines. He just doesn't look like he is old enough to know what he's doing. Maybe he's brilliant. I don't know, but that's just my ignorant opinion. But when you hear this, you hear this coaching and you see what his record's been and this and that's like, why are you firing? And then you think back, it's like, wait, didn't they just win like 7 games in a row and like only just stop losing like the last 2? They won 9 out of 8 games if I'm not. And they lost to the Titans and then they. So whatever, who would have? That's just one of those times where you're like, whatever.
Yep.
Like how like, you can't be mad at that.
You don't meet the Dolphins standards apparently.
Right.
So.
It's like I would be thanking them. Be like, thank you for letting me out of this ridiculous organization. Like if you are not cool with that.
Yeah. He was like kind of in I feel like the same boat as whoever's the new coach for the Raiders. Like here it is, of course, but the new coach for the Raiders is like a little harder because he's like, I'm new to the team. Like I'm trying to take on the reins, learn the ropes. Mm-hmm. But it's like either way, same difference. It's like I'm trying to bring greatness to this team, and like we were doing bad, and Raiders was like they were like, are we gonna do bad because we lost our great coach, and we need help, we need leadership, and so and it's like here this coach is just like whatever he did, and his group like whatever they did, I was like we won a lot straight. And you still
unbelievable too, man. You finally got some continuity going. You've been after quarterback, coach after. Cool, good for me. Good for me.
Do me a favor.
It's funny too, man. We're talking about the Jacksonville and whatever clown show, man, and it's like Miami's like hold my beer, beer.
Yeah.
Y'all thought it's like, oh, you guys got rid of your coach 6 weeks ago and had time. Well, our coach just won 9 out of 8 or 8 out of 9. We're gonna
9 out of 8. Yeah,
9 out of 8. It's like, you fired a disastrous coach. Well, we were looking decent and promising for a good part of the year. So, not good part of like, as in like once they started to win, it was like, all right, they got this, and if they beat the Titans, probably still would have fired him. Like if you're gonna fire him at this rate, it's like then he clearly couldn't have done nothing though. If they beat the Titans, I probably would have put him in the playoffs, and then they would have put him in. No, they probably still would have fired him, bro. It doesn't matter. That's how dumb they are. That's how dumb they are. I don't care. That's how dumb Miami is. Because what's the difference, bro? What's the difference? Like literally, okay, you're saying maybe they have to play a game next week versus that. Do they have a season next year? Are they gonna have to find someone new? Is this not gonna be Tua's like? This is Tua's first year, right, or second year? Second year, right? Second year. Like so it's gonna be a second coach. He's gonna have 0 games to gel with them. They're not gonna have like no interim, or like no like interim time. Like you're not gonna have no coach who's like finishing off last season, entering this season. Like you're gonna have to figure out what you got once all the cards are on the table, beginning of the 2022 regular season. That's exactly the last time you want to figure out if your coach is good or not. So ridiculous, shameful, honestly. Like that's the clown show type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you see, like, Mike Zimmer, it's like, all right, yeah, whatever. Like, no one was impressed by Mike Zimmer. Like, you see, like I was saying before, like, if Chicago fired their coach, or if even, I'm trying to think, like, who's really lackluster right now that could have a coach fired? Like, I don't know who's the coach of anyone in the Giants. Like, if you fired anyone in the Giants front office, I wouldn't blame you.
I feel like they did. Like, when I woke up this morning, it was Giants, for sure.
I'm just saying, like, I know that you can't win, like, I know that you can't keep your job if you put up seasons like that. So I'm just saying I wouldn't have been, I don't know how new the coach is, but I'm sure that he wasn't any less green than Urban Meyer was. So for someone to go with that Giant season and not get fired, but for Urban to get fired, like, you got to really drop the ball, man.
Drop the ball for sure, bro. So, best of luck with him. That's just coach life. I feel like whether you're in NBA, NFL.
I heard he was an asshole, man. I don't know about best of luck to him. Like, I don't know about that. Like, I got to do my research on that. He seems like a douchebag from like what you were hearing, like from like spending all his time at the bars instead of trying to. How can you tell your players to like do the right thing when they're not at the facility? When you're not going to be doing the right thing when you're not at the facility.
Wait. Are we? Who are we talking about?
Urban?
No. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about him. Yeah.
Oh, best of luck to Brian Flores for sure. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying because we're still talking about these clown show Florida teams. But yes, no, Brian Flores. He'll probably be coaching somewhere like where would he land? So Minnesota's got an opening, like we just said. And
that's a decent team.
That could be the squad, bro. Like, good for him. Like,
good
for him. Like, if he can get up in there, that would be. I feel like because they got a roster. I mean, they don't have a quarterback, but they have a decent roster.
No, they got Cousins.
Anyway, yeah, Cousins is like a. He's like a swindler, bro. It's like the fact that like once human history is all said and done, and like aliens will be able to like go through our Wikipedia and then be like, Kirk Cousins made how much money? Like, and then they're just gonna look to like what he did. Like you're gonna look at like, okay, Tom Brady made that much money. Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. Like Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, but Kirk Cousins, it's just gonna be one of those ones like where he was just valuable enough to get paid.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. Wasn't he? He was the one that said, "You like that, right?
You like that now?
You
Like that now?"
like that." I don't remember what happened that made me popped in my head yesterday, but I just like I remember when I first saw that, I was like, "You think you're gonna get away with that?" Like I don't even know it's behind the scenes. Like I was like, I don't think you're gonna not get fined for this. Like
right, but no, he got paid. He got paid for it, and his name is still Kirk. And like, that's just life, man. That's the timeline we live in.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Wildcard weekend. Before we even do that, I forgot that we hadn't do
our scores yet.
Updated scores.
What's our scores this week? Even I don't even know. So what's the total?
You want the? Oh, you saying like the
what's our scores?
Record, right? Win loss. So like I went 3-5 this week, and you went 6-2.
Okay.
And I did check. Match your checks. You did win since you did go 6-2 last weekend. So
okay.
Great job for consistency.
Yeah, yeah. After what was it, 1-8, 1-7?
Yeah,
1-7, 1-7, bro.
1-7.
That was amazing. That was unbelievable. Yeah. Thank you, Tom Brady, again. Whew.
Right.
Whew. Legendary.
So can always count on him except for that 1 week.
Right, man. That was crazy. Okay, so what's our totals though?
So the overall score now for me, I have 40 wins, 22 losses, and 1 tie, and then you are at 37 wins, 26 losses, 0 ties.
All right.
So
is that 3.5 games or 2.5 games that you're up?
Probably we say more like 3.5 because you got 4 losses behind me, but 3 wins. You have 3 losses.
Something in that range, so
yeah, something.
Nevertheless,
I feel like it gets real complicated with the tie. You really want to be exact, So.
Well, the tie is half a win basically, so you get half a win. So wait, how many? Just do the win column. You're up how many more than me?
3.
And 3. Okay, so you're up 3.5 because the tie counts for half. So you're up 3.5 games. And yeah, we're gonna do. Because how many games do we have this week? Let me click on here.
We got 6.
We have 6 games. And then we're going to have less and less and less and less. So we decided before the recording today that because we've been talking about this for a little bit on and off. So we'll do the final scoring of the last, call it 3, maybe 4 weeks. So we haven't decided if we're going to bet the Super Bowl yet. Like, because that kind of depends on the matchup and this and that.
Exactly.
We'll at least bet the next 3 weeks for this head-to-head challenge. We'll do, each game will count for 2 points for this week. And then we'll do 3 points each week after that.
Yes.
So the championship and the division game will both be 3, and then this wildcard weekend will be 2 points each. So each game we're picking, it's like the double jeopardy we were saying before, like double jeopardy, triple jeopardy. Like we're just doing more points, so you can be 2 in the win column, 2 in the loss column, and there are no ties anymore. So let's go. Is it me first? I want to say
it's gonna be you first.
Okay. Whew. So we are trying to win. Now, aren't we?
I mean, we're trying to win. But
right, but now it's really coming. Because at the end of the day, I didn't really think it would be this close, too. I kind of figured one of us would have taken a lead and just kind of like been clear winner. Because it's anyone's game at this point. Especially with my 1-7 week. I thought for sure you were going to come in close. I needed this last week to be a little bit more in my favor, for sure.
Yeah.
Because then we had that tie week, too. That hurt a lot.
Yeah. I knew, like, I knew I needed this week again because once you went to 6-2 last time to just like try to make up for that, I was like, if I go anything kind of like even or under, it was like, and you still go positive like you did. It was like, now we're really talking, which is cool though. It still makes
little comeback potential. So I like to start off spice here, but I can't. But I will stick consistent with my man Tom Brady. I have to, I have to go with gotta go with the golden goose, and my boy Brady is. I mean, to be fair though, I did place my only active sports bet. I don't remember if I mentioned this on air yet. Is I placed back in March. Shout out to my homie Connor. I put $50 down for me, $50 down for him, because we've been lifelong Tom Brady fans. For Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl, I think it was like we'll get like the $100 will pay back $650, I think. But that was like pretty much right after they won last year, so like it wasn't like that crazy of a. It was just more like, hey, I can't believe Tom Brady's still winning Super Bowls. Let's just see if we can do it again.
Right, exactly.
So that is my only active bet, going currently. That'll still be like on that last account that I was betting from too. So that'd be funny if like at the end of the year I still ended up with. Technically, bro, at the end of the year, I could still end up positive money after everything is said and done if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl. Yes, it is.
That's nice. That's a good feeling.
just the fact that I still have one live bet going. So that's why I will, until this goes through, that will be my pick.
Sounds good. So I'm going to go with my pick, too. Yeah, I could see it going the other way, but I have faith in my Rams beating them Arizona. When I send that fifth grader back to his class.
Oh man, that's a crazy one that you guys got to play in Division 2, and also the first ever Wildcard Monday night game. What they're making a show out of it this year, bro. They're going Saturday games. Definitely. They're doing Monday night playoff games. They're doing what? Is this the first ever Monday night playoff game? It has to be. It's always Super Bowl Sunday. It's always Championship Sunday. It's always Wild Card weekend, and now Wild Card Monday. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just an extra wrinkle. But what? It's like, does it really matter? Not really, I guess, unless you're playing the next week, which is kind of crazy. Like, you're going to make them play a short week, right? You're going to make them play a short week in the playoffs? Whew. Damn. Anyway, that's
trying something new.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if it hit the teams, if they hit them like it's hitting us now, but we'll see. We'll see them tweets. Like, yo, I don't like this.
You know what, man? There's winning, and there's like playing it safe, and there's like going like all in, basically from that poker perspective. And I got to go all in, man. And I'm picking New England because how could I give up on them now? How could I try to go safe and A, sway away from them, or B, blasphemy of pick against them? Like, no, like, I don't want to win this thing that you and I are doing without having a Patriots victory. Help me out here. I mean, like, if they lose and I still win, I'll take that, obviously. But, like, if I can have them, if I can openly say I think New England will beat Buffalo as the lesser team going in to their house again after they got the momentum back on their side, then nothing will be sweeter, bro. Like, to have all that come together, like, then maybe have either New England or Tom Brady win the Super Bowl, one of the two. Like, I'll either take the money or I'll take New England. Like, oof, nothing will be sweeter. So to go on the road of the best possible outcome of my NFL season, I am going to have to pick New England, even though it's definitely not the smart pick.
Right. Number wise for sure.
Just even like the smart play would honestly be to like pick every other team and then try to like leave you with that game, because it's just a hard game to pick.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
But I'm not gonna chicken out. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going with my boys, man. We gotta stick with them.
I still feel like even the other ones, because like.
Also that too, because like I'm not picking Kansas. Like I'm not taking. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm not doing like you can take your KC. That's being your team.
Yeah.
I'll take my team. You can take your team. I just didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want to take KC, but I'm like, really though. But Ben, I'm like KC can just mess up just enough, and Ben can just still have enough gas in the tank. But I would love to see Ben do it. Come on, prove me wrong again, Ben. Come on.
This would be the year, man. This would be the year.
I joke around about you being in the Super Bowl, but let me see if you do it, Ben.
No, it's
that man, he would like, you know what? I changed my mind. I think I'll be back for another year.
And like, just to be like, that's as I'm assuming, like on the record, that means you take KC, right? I think that's just what I'm writing down.
I'm going to say
just to make it clear for the betting world.
KC over Pittsburgh.
Oh man, it's really hard to bet against after how that last weekend went. But but I really can't imagine that the newly anointed MVP of the league, Justin Burrow, is Joe Burrow. Sorry, Justin. I'm thinking Justin Herbert. Joe. Imagine combine them. To Mr. Joe Herbert. I mean, I'm saying, Mr. Burrow will come through. For his next magical performance and shut down Vegas, even though That was a crazy game, man. Like, that was an
Yeah.
incredible game, and I'm still like, what a great way to end the regular season. But I think their season will end on Saturday to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. Joe and Jamar, they just had,
Yeah, it's a
another
little too.
hot game.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like
kind of
they've
like
been
Dallas
pretty.
and Micah. Like they got their hot rookie, man. They got what they
Yeah.
needed.
So, but I still like the rest of these. It can all happen. Like it all can just flip empty because, like I said, Carr is the lead in, and if they could just stay in it, like the defense can help them stay in it,
Mm-hmm.
and offense do what they need to do. Like they just need that fourth quarter comeback. They
I
just
just
need.
I just need Cincinnati to put together one of those. Cincinnati's just crazy too, man. Because I'm even thinking back right now. So Cincinnati lost to the Chargers, correct? It was like 40-20 or something. They lost
Yeah, I
that game.
believe so.
Okay, because see, like I'm just trying to think back. Like we were even talking about, like that's one of those games that could have gone either way. Like they could have won that game 40-20. It's like they come and go. So I'm just hoping that they're here. Hoping that they're here to stay. Everyone's saying that,
Yep.
Burrow's the man. He's the greatest. 525, setting records, this and that. So that's what I'm going on.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. Like I when I was thinking about picking it, I was like, I would go with them, but I was like, it would just hurt. It just hurt just a little bit, just knowing if Las Vegas did win.
Yeah,
but like, it would be understandable.
Vegas is hot.
it's
Well, let me phrase. They're
understandable.
not hot. They were hot. They had that hot performance. Man, like that's just so many things had to go right for them to win that game, in the fashion that they did. I don't think that they're gonna get magic in a bottle twice.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Can I check this? Anything is between? Because
That's it, bro. That's it. You stuck, buddy. You stuck.
no, I'm saying like I know I want to pick the Cowboys, but
I'm like looking. I'm like, is there any other games? I'm like, nope. You got the hard one.
like I want to pick the Cowboys, but
I guess I openly picked one of the other hard ones. I think that New England Buffalo is very similar to Dallas, San Francisco. Not even with the point spread, but just in terms of like either team could win. Like you're not gonna be surprised if New England upsets Buffalo. Like they've already done it once, and you're not gonna be surprised if San Francisco brings their A game. Like you never know. And Dallas is
Exactly.
And I'm still thinking about the last time I lost $100 on Dallas was when Denver came down. Whooped them hard, and it's like you never know. And then didn't Dallas just give it up to damn. Maybe not. I'm thinking some other team they shouldn't have lost to. If I click their
excuse me, because I was hoping they played, but they didn't even play. This would be the first time they played this season, and I'm like, like Dallas has Dak and Elliott and why can't I think of you? Cooper. They got their own Cooper.
right.
And who else is there's somebody else? Oh, CD Lamb. So I'm just like, can they just come through today? This is like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with them. Cowboys. I could both those games. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay with losing both because it's understandable. I feel like both teams can win. Dallas or San Francisco can win, and I feel like
No, 100%, bro.
KC and Pitts can win. Like all of these playoffs, like it's truly besides maybe the Bills, New England is like, and the Philly, Tampa, but but the other four is like those are some decent matchups. Like seeding wise, like you if one thing happens for the other team, like just enough, like you give us you left the door open.
I mean, the biggest
Just a little
deficit
too
is KC is a 13-point favorite over Pittsburgh, and even then, talking about like that whole last game magic, last run magic, you really never know. So,
Yeah, you really
and with
don't.
this season too, man, KC has mailed it in a few games. So like, Mahomes needs to have like 3.5 bad quarters. Like even 3 bad quarters, they can still have a good fourth. Like, but if they have 3.5 bad quarters, then they can lose this game. But I think it's like it's just, as cliche as it's on them to lose, but it really is in that quarterback's hands. I don't think it's in Roethlisberger's. But yeah, that's it, man. We've come full circle. 3 games each. That's we're looking at like we did week
That's
one.
funny.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Our
We
episode
definitely didn't
one.
plan this. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
our episode one. We definitely didn't plan this. I just talked to somebody earlier today about how it's just funny how like I was talking to you about the NFLs and betting, and then I'm like, I couldn't quite remember how you just decided to bring it up, but it was just like, here we are. It was just like, let's have some fun, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Like, makes this NFL season more interesting because what's better to do during this COVID time? Like,
You don't remember how this started? I remember exactly how this started. It was when I lost all that money that one week, and you told me that you could do better, and I'm like, I don't care about what you could do better last week. Tell me what you can do better next week. And then,
Exactly.
and then 2 days later, we were recording this.
I do remember that. So I was like, at the time, I was like, I can't remember exactly. Like, I knew it was more detailed than that, but I was just like, I just knew
The Titans beat LA as a as a visitor. So the Titans went to LA and won. The Cowboys lost to Denver at home as a 10-point favorite, and the Bills lost to Jacksonville all in 1 week. That was my 1 week. That broke me, and I was like,
Yep.
I'm done.
Yep.
And that was the 1 week that T-Mac came in and was like, I can do better.
Yep, I could do better. But, you know, of course, just jokingly, because it was just like, I ain't putting no money, so I can easily say that. Like, it's like, I'm not hurt over here.
No, the only reason why, if you even was like said something about the next week, I'd have been like, whatever. But is because you were like, well, I could have told you about this and that game. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about the games that just passed. I'm like, you tell me about the next games. So that's where it all came from.
Yep. And for as long as we here, and both of us want to do this, I'm down to do this every year.
Yeah, I was even thinking, even with the like, I'll do some just to keep up and active. You know, I've kind of gotten used to it. Like even like tonight, it's Monday night we're recording. You know, we would normally record after Monday Night Football. Like it was a little like, it's already I already know Monday night. Like I can already smell it. So like the day after the Super Bowl is gonna feel like, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna want to talk NBA the way that I can talk football. Like that's the thing. Like NBA is cool. Like maybe like once playoffs come around, like maybe like talk like around like May, late April, May. It's tough to keep following every game though. Like whereas this, it's like I could, at the very least, maybe we could have an episode of just I don't know something following the teams or following this. Maybe like go through a team's roster this week. Go through a team's roster. They're just I don't know something random like so next year. We're all a little less ignorant, about the sport. So when we come into it, we're like, all right, we know they got this going, that going from last year. But yeah, I'm definitely down to just always be talking football, even if it's not the head-to-head. But the head-to-head has been very fun.
Yeah, it definitely has been, and I'm all for learning more about this sport because I never had nothing against it.
Even like, just getting back to like going way back to that the Chargers Raiders game. Like there was one play that Chargers had that like got negated. It was like a 30-yard pass, just because like this one dude was blocking for like a yard too much. Like if you were watching the game in real time, you would know. Like if you were like kind of watching every play, you'd be like, oh yeah, that play. It's because it's like one of those insignificant things. You're watching the highlights, it never pops up. But 30-yard pass, like open pass, caught it, run down the field, tackle, like about to put him in scoring position in overtime. But it gets called back because this one dude was like blocking for like, and they called it. I even had to look it up. Like it'll still be on my I'm like picking up the phone, like not that phone, this one. It'll be on the phone,
right.
Still on my phone. Trying to figure out illegal formations downfield. It's popping up like you can't read nothing, but like illegal formation downfield, and illegal, not illegal formation. That's what the video popped up. Illegal man downfield. Illegal man downfield.
Yes.
Now, not a receiver, not an ineligible receiver.
Exactly.
It was illegal man downfield. I'm like, I've never even heard of illegal man downfield. Like this one rule that I've never even heard about before. And like, long story short, like, and I can't even tell you why this is a rule. Like the whole play, like, is happening over here, like run, throw, catch, sideline, run, and over here, nowhere near the ball. Someone blocked for literally like another yard that they could legally block from like past like the line of scrimmage or like something. They did block like that's what, and like the commentators were talking about it like it's common knowledge, like, oh yeah, if it's an RPO you can't be blocking it too far down the field. They're going to tell you this every time in practice. I'm like, great, I'm not in practice though, so I've never heard of this. And this one thing, I'm like, damn, I really just don't know the rules of this game at all. Because then later on, like another thing that kind of got me like a little bit, I'm going to say like, not irate, but I'm like, I was a little mad at this one thing that didn't affect the game whatsoever. Was a 30-yard like pullback, call it considered a 30-yard penalty really because it was holding, or not holding. Sorry, they called it what it was. Like I still forget what it was. Ineligible man downfield.
Yeah.
It's such a weird term anyway. But it essentially gave him like a 30-yard penalty because it pulled that whole thing back. And then just not 2 plays later on, sorry, maybe like a drive later when it was Raiders, no? I'm trying to think who's on offense or defense, but one of the players does an egregious face mask. And they just like don't call it, and then they have it on the replay, and they're just cool with it. And like no one ever goes back and is like, well, that happened, so and the next play hadn't even started yet, but they didn't like correct that and be like, actually that should be 15. So they're going back for the weirdest things. Like I don't know, the continuity of the game is very weird sometimes, but I'd at least like to know the rules as to, because I mean, someone missing a face mask call, I get it. They don't go back and they don't call penalties like that. Fine, that's what they don't do. But at least I got to learn some of the rules of the game. Like maybe they will have like an obscure rule day or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm done because I feel like I've heard, I don't hear it often for sure, but I think I heard of that one, the ineligible man down the field. I think the one was not this year, but maybe last year was the one as a receiver.
No, ineligible receiver all the time. You hear that all the time, but ineligible man downfield is just such a weird one for me.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just for me, it's just I think it just has so happened like, yeah, I hadn't for whatever reason heard that one too. But yeah, either way, I was just like because I've seen because there was a couple of those in these games this week where it was like it would be like an offensive line like what you doing down there. And it's just like it's unfortunate. It's just like they wish they could do more. Like it's like I wish they could like the rules could be bent just a little bit more, just to give them more free leeway. Because it's like they feel great when they're doing great blocking for blocking the pass rush and blocking for set up runs, but. It's like that's all we're known for. Like
right.
That's it. It's like I can never catch a ball. I can never.
They're kind of like the not even the unsung heroes, but it's when it goes wrong, they're getting hammered, and when it goes right, it's like, oh, good job quarterback, good job receiver, good job good job toe taps, good job running back. It's like the blocker. It's like it's never good block, bro. It's like they never. Yeah. You always got the guy who caught the ball in the end zone, like doing his dance, doing his strut. It's like they never run back to the linemen and like put them up front. And it's like, this guy blocked for me. Like I would not have been here if it was not for this big dude.
Yeah, I think it was the only person I know of that have done that. I think it was Emmett. It's Emmett Smith right there when that was Dallas quarterback. Dallas quarterback, running back, way back when. I don't remember if he mentioned the name. But yeah, he was like, yo, this certain old line, like it wasn't for you. Like he made sure like gave him the flowers. Like I know,
yeah.
Like this wasn't on me. These gaps just like I didn't part the Red Sea. Like it wasn't just me and y'all were and I just moved y'all. Like like it was literally like y'all doing the work. So I was like, that's great to. I know I would be happy. So,
especially because with penalties, bro, half the time it's these guys moving off the line. It's their foot nudged. It's like the ticky-tackiest little thing. Like you look at the big guy, like number 71, fucking breathed wrong, and it's like, oh god, and like you just feel so bad for the guy because it's like they're out there, they're winded, they're this, they're that, like they really are. Unsung for sure. Unsung is the understatement.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that. Like unsung you want to say that in the beginning of the season, the start of the NFL game as a whole, but like by now it's like it's truly an understatement. Like need another word for it, but yeah. So shout out to all those
shout out
those
to
offensive
them
lines.
Yeah, I don't got too much else. I mean, I just gotta say thank you for anyone who's watched, man. Like you're like here right now too. Like especially thank you, but so even if there's no one watching, but still thank you to anyone who's tuned in, this and that, because. It's good to know people out there like to listen to it. I know at least Julian's probably still watching.
yeah. I would say he's the one that commented on the
usually
the comment. I like my silly stuff. I just realized today. I was like Julian. I was like wait. I was like okay because I was just try to come through. Homie. Yeah, I was just trying to come through to just
I think I invited him into our the Discord. That's right. I invited him into the Discord. Yes, Discord. Join below. We'll put the link in the description. That was the new thing we were talking about. Like at this time of last video, like new things. That was the new thing. So we'll keep our. We won't have too much, I guess, to hopefully not too much to talk. I was gonna say we'll have too much to talk about during the regular week. At least there's gonna be so many teams out, so like less COVID news. But hopefully no COVID news, bro. Imagine that ruining a game this weekend. Ugh.
I feel bad for the betters.
I feel bad for us, bro.
At least I mean it's still gonna suck for us, but at least we ain't losing money behind it too. Like,
no, I know. I mean, it's pride, bro. It's pride.
Oh yeah,
but it's yeah. We will talk about what we can talk about in there at least. So yeah, join us in the Discord because that'll be popping for sure, especially by next season.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, we hopefully have grown by how much ever we've grown. We're happy with any kind of progress. just trying to find like minds that's interested in this NFL like we are, and whether you know more than us or little, like we all here to help each other grow.
Agreed, man.
So
I don't know if you have much else, but
yeah.
Until next time for me.
Yes, sir. Deuces world.